Hey there, YouTube. Fantasy Football Sensei coming at you live from the car. I'm sitting in some traffic right now. It's going slow. Just wanted to give y'all a little talk about some things in Dynasty that I see players making mistakes all the time. I'm going to give you a couple tips, something just to help you with your team, help you get unstuck like I am in traffic right now. Most of y'all pilot your dynasty team straight into the trash can. You have to be a better pilot. What that means is you have to make trades and be active on the waiver wire. I have seen players picked up off the waiver wire be the single number one reason people win leagues when their team is not the best. Example, Michael Wilson last season came off the waiver wire and averaged like 18 points per game. Something nuts like that. The season before, or 2 seasons ago, it was Kyron Williams. At one point was a waiver wire for almost every team. I'm telling you, you have to be active on the waivers. The waivers and trades is the number one way to win your team. If you look at my dynasty leagues that I share on this channel, there is one thing consistent on those teams, and that is that I am active every week on the waiver. Every week. That's why my teams have Darren Wallers, Joanu Smiths, Jawar Jordans, these random guys who were actually good. There's a team that I have where Justin Herbert's my quarterback, and my quarterbacks are Shadur, Aaron Rodgers, and Geno Smith. Week 16, I picked up Geno Smith. I was not planning to start Geno, but for a dynasty standpoint, I needed a backup quarterback. I don't know if Shadur's the starter. I don't know if Aaron Rodgers matters in 2026. So I needed someone who I knew would be starting quarterback this season. Geno off the waivers is the perfect guy for that. This year, drafts are going to be interesting. First off, look at the Arizona Cardinals backfield. It's crowded as could be. It's got James Conner, Trey Benson, and they signed Tyler Algier. I don't know what the Cardinals are doing with the new regime, but I do think there is a ugly committee coming out of their backfield that is so important because you cannot overdraft any of them. I don't care what the coach says. I don't care what the team hypes up between now and the time the season starts. Trey Benson still has high enough draft capital. James Conner got paid. Algier got paid. Okay, this is a three-headed monster with Trey McBride as tight end, Jacoby Brissett, and we got Marv on the outside of Michael Wilson. The offense is fine. It's good. For fantasy, the running backs are not. This video is not about the Cardinals, but think about that next year when you draft. Another example of something you need to think about is crowded wide receiver rooms. 2 or 3 seasons ago, the Texans had Nico Collins, Tank Dell, and Stephon Diggs. No one knew who the best was. Diggs was the most hyped. Tank Dell went in between, and Nico was the one left out. Guess what, guys? Nico was the best one out of the 3 that season and over the last 2 or 3 years in Dynasty. Okay? This year, for 2026, what I see is the Buccaneers wide receiver room having that kind of crowdedness where I don't know which one I want. Do I want Godwin? Or do I want Emeka Egbuka? Or do I want Jalen McMillan? Or what about Tez Johnson? There's all kinds of question marks. I think the Bucs are good. They are going to be fantasy relevant, but I just don't know. Okay? The backfield has another receiving back. That hurts Bucky. The receiver core is deep, so there's no fantasy outlier. The tight end room is Cade Otton, I think. Y'all, that room is crowded. Next season, when I see Egbuka getting drafted in round 5 and Godwin's not going till the 8th or 9th round, I'm taking Godwin every time. Okay? You have to look at these rooms. Another one that's going to be like that is the Packers. Okay, the Green Bay Packers receiver room is funky. You have Christian Watson coming off an ACL that looks like a great waiver wire stud from last season. We have Matthew Golden, who's projected to take a step forward. Dontavian Wicks at times has flashed that he's good. I think the Packers have a good wide receiver core. Hopefully Tucker Kraft comes back. Jordan Love, Josh Jacobs. The team is good. The defense is great. The Packers are a contender. But for fantasy football, that receiver room is going to be messy as could be. I will take a shot on one Packer receiver. I don't know which one it'll be. It'll probably depend on ADP. I assume Matthew Gold and Christian Watson will be the top two. I'm going to hope to get Jalen Reed, Dontavian Wicks. You know, the room's crowded with a bunch of maybes. Romeo Dobbs goes over to the Patriots. He'll be fantasy relevant too, even though everyone will discount him. It's crowded, y'all, but you have to think about it. My advice for this is in crowded wide receiver or running back rooms, take one of the guys, but take whoever falls. Typically, I take the faller. So, guys, just a quick recap, right? We have be active on the waiver wire, make trades, don't fall for hype on draft day. If you really believe that out of 3 receivers, you know the guy, draft your guy. But just understand that you might miss completely. And I've noticed in my experience when I'm taking 50-50 or 33% shots on players, it feels like you miss so much more than you hit. Except for Nico Collins, because I knew when he was a rookie, he was going to be a good receiver on the Texans. And here we are 5 years later, 6 years later, and he is. And he came from Michigan. So he came from a good college program. Not the best for like receivers, but I mean, there's some good players that come out of Michigan, and they come from good systems. So yeah, guys, just to sum it up again, those are my 3 top takes on players and how not to ruin your dynasty team. Make sure you're active on the waiver. Make sure you make trade offers, and make sure that you don't draft the guy who's just, hyped up to be the one. Ibuka last year went at the 107 in almost every draft I was a part of. I think that's still a reasonable price for Ibuka right now. Right now, in March to April of 2026, I think a 106, 107 for Ibuka is worth it. However, I don't necessarily think you should give that up if you're in one of those positions. All right, guys, this is Fantasy Football Sensei. I'm almost out of traffic. I just want to give you this quick video, how not to ruin your dynasty team, but also just some tips to be better at fantasy. You have to play waivers. You have to make trade offers. And you have to continuously play the game, okay? If you're not paying attention to fantasy football, if you're not paying attention to who's good, who's up and coming, who might even be a starter, you're not going to win your leagues. I sent an offer last year around week 10 in my Dynasty League with Jawar Jordan to some guy, and he said, who is that running back? He added some F-bombs in there that I won't say because YouTube doesn't like it. But he didn't even know who this guy was, who I believe at the time was the starter for the Houston Texans. Okay? You've got to pay more attention to fantasy than that. That's why you keep losing your leagues. Fantasy Football Sensei, giving you this advice in traffic. Hope you all have a great day. Fantasy Football Sensei, out.